You don't mess with a service member's vehicle, especially not when that vehicle is a Dodge Challenger. It's no mystery to anyone. The Dodge Challenger is a staple among United States service members. And why wouldn't it be? Out of all the pony cars, it's the heaviest, gets the worst gas mileage, and performs the least. And it's also the most expensive. I owned one. It was a V6. Cue the jokes. I don't care. There's nothing worse that you guys can say to me than the things I say to myself, or just the things that I hear rattling around in the old noggin. No, just let me do the video. As always, please comment your thoughts throughout this video. Share it. Give me a subscribe. Give me a follow. Wherever you're seeing this, okay? Take action if you want to continue to see content made from my bedroom. The story gets kind of crazy at the end, so make sure you watch until all the way at the end, right? Yeah, is that a shameless way to get you to watch the whole video? Sure, I don't care. Watch it. This will be the 22nd or 23rd video that I've posted, long form. And you guys probably don't know this, and I know this is a pivot from the video itself, but it's very difficult to transition for a lot of short form content creators, which is what I started out as. It is because of you that I have been successful. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your sharing my content. I appreciate you watching it, supporting me. Thank you. It really means a lot. I mean that as genuinely as I can convey over this. So thank you very much. And as always, tune in every Wednesday because I'm dropping a new one every single Wednesday. All right, so basically what happened is a Dodge dealership told a service member who was deployed to Iraq, a soldier, that they would sell him a Dodge Challenger. Okay? But this wasn't any random Dodge Challenger. Okay? I had a V6 Dodge Challenger. I liked it. It was like 2 inches shy of being just as long as my minivan, and I had a Dodge Grand Caravan. I actually like Dodge products. Currently drive an F-150. I'm getting off topic. It's my ADHD. This wasn't any Dodge Challenger though. This was a Dodge Challenger Demon. I believe it's called a Dodge Challenger Demon 1025, I think. But anyway, the thing that's special about this, even over other Demons, is that this thing makes 1,004 horsepower. You heard that right. 1004. That is a lot of ponies. That's a lot of juice. That's a lot of mustard. Whatever you want to say, that gets you from A to B very, very rapidly. It's high speed, low drag, okay? It's not actually low drag because the front of a Dodge Challenger is literally like a giant rectangle. It's basically a sail, okay? Not like a sail like they should have done with this Dodge Challenger, like a sail on a ship. It's not aerodynamic at all. It's actually high drag. But this thing doesn't matter because it's just supposed to get you from point A to point B, which is a quarter mile down the road, as rapidly as humanly possible, and it will. I don't think that you could fall off a cliff faster than this thing will take you across the drag strip. Service member was deployed to Iraq, calls the dealership, sees the car that he wants. It's got all the options that he wants. It's the specific type of Challenger that he wants. And so he starts the process to buy it. Well, put down a deposit and, you know, they were supposed to hold it. When you got a deposit in, that's supposed to be your vehicle at that point. Most of us have bought a vehicle. We know how this works. And this is where the story gets mucky. Buyer A, which was the deployed service member, put a hold on the vehicle. Buyer B comes in, likes the vehicle, and so the dealership sells buyer A's vehicle to buyer B. Now he runs off with the vehicle that was supposed to be for buyer A. Are you following me? I feel like we're doing that cup game. That might have been cheesy. I don't know, nor do I care. All right, so they sell this vehicle to buyer B. Now there's no vehicle. Well, buyer A, the deployed soldier, he sees posts, I would assume, in some social media groups or just generally on social media pages. This is a very specific car, okay? Dodge Challengers, Camaros, Mustangs, giant jacked up trucks that clearly give small PP energy. They're a dime a dozen on military installations, okay? They're everywhere, but Dodge Demons are not, okay? Dodge Demons are very specific, highly specialized. It's tantamount to a supercar, okay? There's just not a lot of them around. And so he saw, right, buyer B posting about it on social media. Well, buyer A contacted buyer B. Okay, the soldier contacted buyer B, and he did a match on the last couple numbers of the VIN. And lo and behold, it matched. It matched. So then he contacts the dealership to figure out what the issue was. And now things are blowing up, okay? I would have been quaking in my boots, okay? Now, there's a couple things that Dodge could have done to rectify this situation. This is bad. This is bad press. This is not a good way to do business. My old man was a car dealer. And I mean, well, he probably would have done this. Dad, if you watch this video, and you probably will because my stuff comes right up on your TV screen on the old Fire Stick. If you watch this, I'm sorry. We both know you, okay? It is what it is, all right? Anyway, Dodge decided to make it right, though, okay? Somebody senior from Dodge, I think, probably contacted the dealership. The dealership ended up firing a GM and 2 salesmen that were involved in the sale. And they are currently working on getting the service member a more exact vehicle. They're currently working on getting the service member, the vehicle that he wants, despite the fact that they sold the exact one that he wants, okay? Great. They tried to make it right. This is where the story gets really cool. When you have a vehicle this special, it's highly unlikely that it's going to be just sitting around the dealership. They probably don't have 2 of them. So, Dodge, or the dealership, figured out where another one of these very special vehicles are somewhere else in the country. Well, what are we going to do? We got to ship it, okay? We got to get it to the customer, which is the deployed service member after he arrives home from his deployment. Well, that's where Transport for Troops comes in. It's an organization where I'm actually friends with a lot of the guys that work there. And this is not sponsored content. They're not paying me to say this. It's just a really amazing way for me to highlight an organization that does a lot for our service members. Transport for Troops subsidizes the cost of moving vehicles for service members and military families that need it. And this could be for any number of reasons, okay? But you should check them out if you haven't, because they do a lot of amazing things and they do take donations. Transport for Troops is going to deliver this vehicle to the service member. But they're not just going to take this vehicle to the dealership or even to the service member's house. They're going to take this vehicle to Jay Leno's garage. And the service member will be able to pick this vehicle up from Jay Leno's garage. If you heard my kids screaming in the background, I'm sorry. They're animals, okay? And I don't make actual studio money. I make a bedroom in my house studio money. All in all, I think the story ended well. The service member is going to get the vehicle that he wants. The people responsible are having consequences for their actions. You know, Dodge kind of turned what could have been a PR nightmare completely around. And if you don't think that Dodge customers generally are supportive of the military, you're out of your mind. You're probably a Chevy driver. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love Chevy too. I like all the American automakers equally. I mean, we have to say that, right? Because they're competing against everybody else in the world. It's like talking to your kids, right? Everybody has a favorite child. Okay, well, we don't say that. We say we love them all equally.